get this out of the way. There we go. So hopefully everybody can see my whole screen. Yeah, what I'm going to talk about, attempt to do a training on, is pay-per-click advertising. And let me show you what pay-per-click is, first of all. I didn't even think of this. But what we're going to be doing is not Google. Google is not real friendly to the home business industry, network marketing, direct sales, that type of stuff. We're going to be advertising on Bing and Yahoo. Honestly, not search engines I use personally, but people do, and the advertising does work. And let's just give you an idea of what I'm talking about first, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of how to set it up. One of the things that I target is cash gifting, okay? These people, if somebody's looking for cash gifting, they're very receptive to what we have with our business opportunity, and honestly, in my opinion, we're a lot better because we have a product. But basically what happens, and this is how all search engines work, okay, you're going to type in your search term, and you're going to see, and maybe you didn't even know these were ads, you're going to see some ads popping up here. Okay, this little box is ads, and everything down along the right-hand side here are also ads. Everything here just in white, not in this kind of off-white box up here, but everything else here is free. These are being picked up from articles that are on blogs and websites and that type of thing. These are not. This is all free stuff. It's not paid ads. In fact, this is how you advertise if you check out my article marketing training on the ProsperityNexus.com site. But here we're talking about getting your ads to show here and up here. I'm not going to click on any of these ads because if I did, the people running these ads are going to have to pay. Oh, here's my ad, okay? JustBigChecks.com, that's me. Okay, so don't go and clicking on it because the way pay-per-click works is that you're only going to pay. You're not paying if your ad is showing, but you're going to pay when somebody physically clicks on your ad. Okay, and you're only going to pay a little bit of money, and I'll show you how that works in a sec. So that's, in a nutshell, what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people who are searching for something that we're targeting. Okay, and such as cash gifting. Whatever they type here in the search bar, we want to come up and we want our ad to show here. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, and we'll open this up for questions at the end too, but let's go through this a little bit. The wrong page. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do is get a Bing Ads account, okay, and it's free to set up. Okay, so you just go to, actually the best way to do it, I think, is to search Bing pay-per-click. This is what I did anyway, and where is it? Under their ad here, click on Get Started Today. And it's going to bring you to this page. You're going to click here and you're going to sign up. You're going to sign up with your Microsoft account if you have one. Okay, otherwise you're just going to create a new one. And I'm not going to take you through the whole sign-up process since I have an account, but just kind of follow the steps to set up an account. Now here's my account, and I don't do a tremendous amount of pay-per-click, but what I do, I like to have it be very, very targeted. And what I mean by that is I'm not trying to generate traffic to my ad from all different kinds of things, make money from home, network marketing, direct sale. I don't want those generic, what I would call a generic keyword. It's going to get a lot of traffic, but it's very generic traffic, and that's where it's going to cost you a lot of money. I want to get the most bang for my buck, so I'm going to be very specific in what I target. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a campaign. Now, I like to only have one, so I'm actually not going to create a campaign in this training, but basically what you're going to do is just kind of click on Create a Campaign and then follow through with what they're asking. I'm going to show you what my settings are to give you an idea. Let's see, how do I do this? Well, basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick your locations. I recommend just Canada and the United States. Nowadays, it used to be that you would just target PCs or laptops. Now, of course, you want to target all devices. It's going to give you an option to select what days and even what times of days. I would just recommend doing all days because I do get traffic over the weekends. Same thing with hours. You know, you can turn it off at night if you want. I don't see the reason for it. So I just do all hours, and I do both men and women. There's no reason to choose a gender for what we're doing. And the last thing you're going to want to do is pick your daily budget. Okay, and you can always change this. I recommend picking a budget higher than what you really want to spend, because the way we're going to do this, we're not going to get a super amount of traffic, so you're not going to hit, I mean, I don't come close to hitting $15 a day, trust me. But, you know, if you want to put a higher budget than you're actually going to want to spend, because that way your ad's going to show more often. Okay, so that's why you want to do that. You know, you can start off $10 a day is fine as well. But don't put what you really want to spend. I mean, if you want to really spend $2 a day, don't put that, because your ad's not going to show frequently enough. So you're going to want to put, you know, I would recommend not doing anything less than $10 a day. Trust me, you're not going to come close to it, at least the way I do my my pay-per-click. So now we're going to go to ads, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to create an ad here for you, just to show you how really simple it is. I'm going to click on, let's see what ads I have showing here. Hopefully it doesn't sign me out. Okay. I have a bunch of ads. You see I'm targeting Cash KSA. I'm targeting some other stuff as well. But we're going to create a new, actually I don't want to create a new ad. I want to create a new ad group. Okay. So you see some ads that I've run. Okay, cash gifting is my active ad group right now. I have in the past targeted people looking for franchises. I have done what I said don't do. I've tried to target home business, make money. Not very successful, to be honest. The same thing with baby boomers. This one actually ended up costing me way more money than I wanted to spend. I was not getting, if you don't use the right keywords, you don't necessarily get the right traffic, and I did not with that one. So we're going to create a new ad group. This is after you put your campaign parameters in. Now you go to create an ad. So we're going to create a new ad group. Okay, we're under my MMM2 campaign. Okay. And I'm going to target a specific company out there called Direct Pay System. So I'm just going to call my ad group that. Okay, it's just something so that I know what the heck it is. It's going to automatically target my campaign. It's going to pull from my overall campaign settings, so I'm going to be targeting the U.S. and Canada. I want to run a text ad. That's the default. And it's going to actually make me do a campaign. So I'll do this right now, or create an ad for you. Let's see here. I did not plan this out, so this is being done on the fly. Okay. I'll just do, and I'm just thinking about this off the fly. You know, you want to give a little bit of thought to it, but by the same token, you're limited with your number of characters to 25, and I want to put my keyword in my title. Okay, so the major thing that I'm going to be targeting here, and we'll get to keywords in a sec, is Direct Pay System. So I want that to show in my title. So I'm kind of limited on what else I can write after that. 80% refers to their compensation plan, where they pay out 80% up front. Okay. Now your text, I have 71 characters that I can type in here. So why get 80%? Let's see if we can fit all this. with direct pay system when you can get 100%. Okay, that's good. So I just typed in, why get 80% commission with direct pay system when you can get 100%? Now, for my display URL, I'm going to put my capture page domain. I'm not going to bother with the www or HTTP or anything like that here for the display. We're going to need to do that for destination in a second. I'm going to go .com / direct pay system. Okay, so I'm going to also put my keyword after my URL here in my under where it says display URL. So I'm going to put my real URL in case somebody decides to type this in, okay, justdigcheck.com, and then I'm going to just put / the keyword that I'm targeting, okay, in this case direct pay system. Now, for destination URL, we can put something completely different. And here's what I want to show you, how you can set up a link tracker in your marketing system. Okay? So I'm in the back office of my personal marketing system. I've gone to Tools and Tracking. Okay? And here I'm going to set up tracking. So I'm going to type in here Bing direct pay system. Did I spell all that right? Bing direct pay system. So that's going to tell me it's Bing pay-per-click and it's direct pay. It's my direct pay system ad. I'm going to click set up tracking. And I think I have to refresh the page. So let's go here. There we go. So I had to refresh the page, and now this is going to give me my link. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to highlight it, copy it. Go back over here. I'm going to paste that in. Here, this shows me what my ads are going to look like. Okay. Make sure there's no typos or anything. And I recommend creating multiple ads. I mean, this title, this ad may not be effective at all. You know, we'll find out. But I'm going to end up running probably 3 different ads, and I'll see which one performs the best. And that's the one I'll run. Now, here's where we're going to enter our keywords. And this is really where I think the way I do this, I mean, it's, you know, the way a lot of other people do it too, but follow it this way to keep your costs down and keep your traffic hyper-targeted, okay? So we're going to just type in keywords here. I'm not even going to do any keyword research, okay? I'm just going to type in stuff that I think people are going to search for if they're looking at direct pay system, okay? Now, what's going to happen a lot of times is people are going to have gotten a voice broadcast about direct pay system. Okay? And then they're going to go and they're going to do a search. And when they do that, that's when we want our ad to show up. Okay? So I'm going to type in here direct pay system. I'm going to type in direct pay system reviews. I'm going to type in here direct pay system scam. Okay? Because for whatever reason in this industry, people always search for scams. So this is another way you'll pick up some traffic. I'm going to put in here direct pay system compensation plan. And we can always add to this. Well, direct pay system is also called DPS. So I'm going to put in DPS program. And I'll put in direct pay system program. And let's leave it at that for now. You know, you may think of other ones, or the Bing will actually recommend other keywords too that you can either say yes to or disregard. Most of them you'll disregard, but sometimes they have a good one that you want to add to it as well. So I'm just going to click Add. Now here's another thing. Wow, I was not expecting these bids to be that expensive. Let's see what happens here. Because it's going to automatically default to broad, which means that somebody could type in direct, and it could come up as a, you know, your ad might show. Okay, we want this to be very specific, so we're going to choose the exact option. Okay. I'll tell you, normally there must be another direct pay system out there, because normally the bids are not this expensive. Usually they're at a nickel or a dime. But we'll continue on with this for the training, but maybe this isn't the greatest keyword. Again, here we're going to go to exact. Okay, we went down from $1.93 to 70 cents. I can deal with 70 cents. I'm not going to pay more than $1 personally for any keywords. Yeah, looks like everything's going to drop down to 70. So make sure you get exact on all of them. I've made the mistake of missing a keyword before and it left it on broad. You're going to spend money for that and your traffic's going to be garbage. Okay, so you want it to be exact. And one more. Well, looks like, are we done? Exact, 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 exact. Okay. Now we're going to hit save. So we got 70 cents a click. That's even higher than I would like personally, but this is a major competitor of ours right now, so I do want to target. I do want to run this ad, and I'm going to click save. Now this is going to ask you. Now we already picked the pricing for each of our keywords individually, but I'm just going to make sure, and I'm going to set my bid at 70 because that's where it seemed to want it to be. And content, I'm going to put that at 10 cents. Content are the ads if you ever get an email. Now this would be in the case of if you use a Yahoo email address or if you're using a Hotmail email address. You'll notice that sometimes there's ads in your email. That's what the content network is. The search network is really what we're ultimately targeting, and that is what I showed you earlier when people type something into the search bar. We are not doing any advanced targeting. These are all our defaults from our campaign. So when you set up your campaign in the beginning, unless you want to make changes, everything's going to default back to the way you set it up. And we're just going to hit save. And I'm going to have to wait till they approve it. It usually takes a little while, but we are going to run this now, and it should just be pretty quick where the ad will actually start showing in the search engines. If you decide that you want to change this bid, you just click on the little pencil here, and you can edit this. Okay. So what you want to do too is this is going to show you where your ad is. Let me show you over here. The average position of your ad. Okay, so I'm running this cash gifting ad. My average position is somewhere between 3 and 4 on the ads. I'm good with that because that means it's going to be right up towards the top. You know, I don't necessarily care if I'm number 1, but I don't want to be off that first page anywhere, and I'd prefer not to be the last ad on the first page too. So, you know, you're going to want to watch that. And the way you increase your positioning, or one of the easiest ways to increase your positioning, is just to bump up your bid, you know, from 30 here, minus 30 cents here. You know, I can bump it up to 50 cents. You're still only going to pay, I think it's a penny over what the second place person is bidding. So, you know, even if you put 50 as a bid, it doesn't mean that's what you're going to pay. But you want to be you want to have your average position to be, top 5 minimally. If you're top 5, you're good. And that's pretty much, that's pretty much it. It's not that difficult. You got to set up the account for the first time, I understand. But once you do that, you can tweak things. You can run it so that it's meeting your budget. You can spend per day whatever you want to spend per day. Again, set your limit higher than what you really want to spend, because Bing and Yahoo are just not, they're not going to get the traffic that Google's going to get. Be very specific. Be very specific in your targeting. I like personally, exclusive of the cash gifting, I like to target specific businesses, just like I showed you there with the direct pay system, where normally the bids are pretty inexpensive, and I was surprised to see 70 cents. But normally they're pretty expensive, and they're real easy to get your ads to show for, because there's not a lot of competition. So, what I'd like to do now, I think, is just open it up for questions. This video will be put up on the site so that you can watch it again. But if anybody has any questions, or if anybody has any experience with pay-per-click in the past and would like to share that, let's kind of open it up at this point. If you just hit *6 and come out and ask your question. I hope this was helpful to all of you.
Great, Steve. Wonderful. Just folks, if you have questions, *6. And I see several of you have called in using the voice over IP. There's a pad that you can use to press *6 to unmute yourself if you're calling in over voice over IP. So, got to be a question or two.
I would imagine.
Don't be shy. Come on. If you have a question, jump out.
Hey, Steve, this is...
For Steve, this is Harvey.
Oh, hey, Harvey.
Yeah, my question's not going to be too expensive to ask right now, wouldn't it?
Well, not really, I don't think. You're going to get really good traffic with this strategy. And honestly, I think for the entire month, last month, I think I spent $90, and I have a $15 a day budget. So no, I don't think so. You can manage it to the point where, you're only paying a couple bucks a day if you want.
Okay.
And you can always pause the campaign too. So if you see that, you do go over what you feel comfortable spending, you can always pause. That's something I should have mentioned. You can always pause the ad so that you're not paying then for a while.
Okay. Where will this?
But if you're getting good results, it's going to pay for itself many times over.
Absolutely.
Would this conversation be on our webinar, on our back office?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Will this webinar be in our back office so I can go to listen to it again?
That's the plan. Yes.
Okay. And how long are you thinking for to be there?
I don't know. Michael, how do we know how to put these videos up on the training site?
Yeah, they basically are automatically created when we get finished. It just takes a little doing, and we can put a link up to it. So
okay.
All
right, cool. We'll get that up. We'll get that. Yeah, we'll get that up today. I didn't. I don't think we put up last week, so we'll put up last week's and this week's. We'll get that up today.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
This is Tim. Hey, Steve.
Yeah. Who is that? Andre?
You here, Tim? Yes, it's Andre and Tim, I guess.
Go ahead, Andre. I'll wait.
Tim will be next.
Okay. Well, so basically what you're doing with that is they're going directly to your capture page and then website, and and then basically what generally happens before they'll join, they'll generally give you a call first, or have you experienced where people will just straight up join before giving you a call?
I think that may have happened it's definitely twice, maybe 3 times in 2+ years. So, yeah, most people are going to definitely call or email, if they're interested. Yeah. Because, the way, and I probably should have said this, the way that it's going to work is, you're always advertising your capture page. They're going to enter their information, so they're going to go into our autoresponder system, and they're going to start receiving the follow-up emails. And, for those who are interested, they're going to now have your contact information. It's on the website, and it's in each email. So, if they're, my experience has been if they're interested enough, they'll typically call.
Do you usually try to reach out to them when you get their information and say, like, hey, I saw you checked out the website, just wanted to know if you wanted me to answer any questions?
I don't personally. In fact, the capture page I use only asks for name and email address anyway.
Okay.
And so, with this strategy, with anything I really do online, I let the system do the work, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, can you bump up your conversion a little bit if you call first? I'm definitely sure you can. I just don't do it personally.
Yeah. No, I could see this as a good passive technique that constantly keeps leads coming in, and so and especially if it's only $90 a month. I mean, it seems like it'd be pretty effective. I've spent hundreds of dollars per month too, trying different things. I mean, you can control your expense. It's all controlled on a daily expenditure basis. So, you can control that. Again, I wouldn't necessarily put in what you really want to spend, and just watch it and see if it's, because my experience has been I don't come close to, my $15 a day, typically, and what I also should have and would recommend is that, my bread and butter has been the cash gifting ads, but, there should be plenty of ads up there. There's a few different specific competitors that we have out there that people are going to be searching for that our business model already appeals to them because they're searching for something that's very similar, and they're excellent prospects because they're interested in something like what we have. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's definitely a good, real good passive strategy for sure.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. Tim?
Yes. When you go to Bing and do this, it's only the only people that will find you are doing a search, like instead of Google or Yahoo or something, they're searching strictly through Bing.
It's actually Bing. It's actually Bing and Yahoo have an agreement. So you sign up with Bing, but it's going to show on Yahoo as well.
Oh, okay. And if you set this at $10 a day, and you want to spend that kind of money or something like that, this isn't a bad thing to run all the time. Or is it something you just want to? You said you run it sparingly, and.
Well, no, it's always running. I just don't have enough ads running right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all. I never shut it off. I did shut off, for example, the baby boomer campaign I was running because it was costing me a lot of money, and it was a waste of money as it turned out. So, it took me a little while to figure that out because it was generating me a lot of leads, but they were just pretty useless leads. So so I shut that campaign off.
Well, if you're only running through $10 a day and you're running it all month long and get one deal, say gold out of it, money well spent.
But that's the thing. $10 is $300 a month or whatever is not too shabby considering you're right. You get one bronze sale and you're still in profit.
Got a cheap fishing line. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Steve, this is Michael. I hate to put you on the spot, but typically, or just from your experience, how many clicks does it take to get a converted sale? Do you have any sort of what you look for in that regard?
Yeah. I'm really, thanks for putting me on the spot, by the way. I'm horrible with back-end conversion numbers. I really am, and I shouldn't be. That's not an excuse. It's just a fact. But based on the leads that I've generated and everything, I mean, you're looking at, somewhere around one sign up for every 50 leads generated, something like that, something in that range. I mean, if you do that, you're doing you're doing okay, because
Cool.
the industry standard for any sort of internet advertising is 2 to 3 sales per 100 leads generated with our business model. So, yeah, so that's kind of what the expectation should be.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey,
One
Steve,
other thing I should have mentioned, and then I'm sorry, I'll let you ask your question, is that when you do start running your ad, and I do recommend having a couple of different ads running just to see which one's performing better, you're going to want to at least have a 1% click rate, okay, and it's going to show you that on the stats. You're going to want to have at least a 1%. If you're less than that, your ad probably needs to be reworked a little bit. Yeah, that's the only other stat that I neglected to mention earlier. I'm sorry, did somebody have a question there?
I did, Steve. This is Billy. At the
Oh, hey,
beginning,
Bill.
hi. Great training call. And
Thank
I mean, how simple was that? You created an ad in like 10 minutes, and we got
Pretty
to one.
easy. Once, yeah. I mean, it is pretty easy once you. Well, and it's easy setting up your account as well. But just most of the parameters are going to be default. Just make sure you switch it to U.S. and Canada only. We don't want any other countries typically for our business model. And yeah, no, and then each ad will basically default to the to your campaign parameters unless you change them up. And I do recommend, because this is something I kind of learned the hard way, is that set up those different ad groups like I set up today, so that it's just easier to track your performance. Don't lump everything in under one thing. Don't just create a campaign MMM or PNT or whatever the heck you want to call it, and then put all your ads just under that. Because it's just a lot easier to track if you create the ad group separately, like I did today.
Absolutely. A
Yep.
question I had was right at the beginning when you were setting up the account. Do you have to use a Microsoft email account? Is that what they want you to do, or can you use a different email?
Nah, it's a bummer. You do have to use a Microsoft account.
Okay.
Although I think in my personal profile, I think I have a Gmail account as my account, because I don't use a Microsoft email address, but I have it set up with one. But I also have a Gmail account in there so that I get my billing information and everything.
Okay. I just wondered because I have a Mac, and of course I don't have a Microsoft email account, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
Yeah, it'll just walk you setting one up, and then you will need one. And then in your personal profile, you can add an email that you actually really use.
Okay, great. Thank you. Excellent training. Loved it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else before we wrap this up? It looks like we've gone over an hour.
Star
All
6,
right.
folks, if you have a question. All right, great.
Okay,
Great training, Steve.
Well,
yeah.
Thanks. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you actually do this. Because it's a it's a simple strategy, pretty easy to control your expenses, and once you have it set up, it runs passively. So it's not something that's going to take a lot of your time. I would just say, check it daily in the beginning to just track your expenses. But after that, I mean, the thing is just going to run behind the scenes, and you'll just see leads popping up in your back office.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We will do our best to get this video up there today, or I guess a link to it. We'll see how this works with this new system. What?
I'll tell you what we will do first is we will put a link in the Skype room. Just put a link to it. You can go to the link and take a look at it that way for sure, and then we'll get it up on the site. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, don't forget, we do have a live callback training call tomorrow. The same dial-in number. We don't use the webinar platform for it, but it's the same dial-in number and meeting ID, and we'll be calling leads back live. So especially for those of you who are new and have not experienced calling leads back, you should try to get on the call if you can. It's at 4 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. And that's it. So make it a great rest of the day, guys. And thanks for joining us. Take care.
Bye now.